Welcome to the Alien Probe Podcast. It is August 3rd, 2023. I'm Doug. Joining me today is I have two guests, Terry and Denise, who are experiencers. You guys have experienced something, and you're on to kind of tell the story about what happened. What's going on? How'd it work?
Well, we were out driving around in the car. This was back I had Denise and her two sisters and one of my friends in the car with us, and we were sitting back in a
What what
field.
uh what year was it? About what year is this, Terry?
This was like 1979 or 80.
Yeah.
I think it was earlier than. I think it was 77 though, babe.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah. Because then 79 I was a Playboy bunny. 78, 79 Playboy bunny, and then I moved to Florida right after that. So I think it was 77.
I'm not going to argue.
Okay.
And so to set the scene, where was this?
This was right by Grayslake Airport in Grayslake, Illinois. It's in the far northern suburbs of Chicago.
Is this by the Great Lakes, Lake Superior or whatever?
Lake Michigan.
Michigan. Was it by the lake? Was it close?
We're 10 and 12 miles off the lake.
Yeah, they're.
It wasn't.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Denise.
Well, I was gonna say it wasn't that close to the lake, but
There's.
yeah. And I grew up one town over in Wildwood, so that's how I met Schmitty.
So
And
yeah, there's a
yeah,
lot of sightings in the Great Lakes area. Tons of them.
really.
Yeah, it's huge. Well, Florida is too. You guys must just like to move to places where there's a lot of things going on.
I just like, yeah, I like water and I like sun.
Yeah, I'm trying to convince my wife to move to Florida. My sister lives in Titusville, and
Okay, yeah.
I'd love to move there, but she's just, I don't like the heat. I don't like the heat, and she throws the stick for the dog. I have a German Shepherd, and she throws the stick for the
Oh,
shepherd into the lakes and rivers around here, and you
oh,
just
yeah.
can't do that in Florida.
Now the gators, we have a gator in our backyard. Well, more than one gator in our backyard.
That's
We
wild.
have one that lives under our dock that eats our fish food.
That's great. Do you have gators where you are, Denise?
No, no gators. I'm in the city. I'm in North Florida,
North Florida?
about 20 miles away. Yeah, North Florida, 20 miles away from the ocean. No, I just have a lot of frogs in my backyard. Got a
Yeah.
frog farm out there.
I visited my buddy not too long ago. He lived in Gainesville. We were there for a while. It was kind of hot there though. It's in the middle. Gainesville's like right in the middle of Florida.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's only hot. Tell your wife it's only hot for like 4 months, and you get used to it. Once you're a cracker, if you're here 6 months, you're a cracker. You're a full blood Floridian then, and you
I've
just stop
never heard
sweating.
that.
Like the 6 month, yeah,
Is
6
that
point, you just stop sweating.
your
You're a cracker.
your cracker ass cracker? Yeah.
Yeah, we're crackers. We're crackers. We
I
look like
had no. I've
crackers too.
never heard that before. Are you a
Great
cracker
guy,
too,
old
Terry?
girl. Crackers.
Terry's a cracker too.
I'm a cracker. You're a cracker.
Crackers.
So anyway, so getting
Yeah,
back to
just
the
stop
story,
sweating.
tell me
That's my
what.
point.
So what happened? You're driving. What kind of car did you have? I got to know
I
that.
had a '69 Cadillac Fleetwood. It was like, I don't know, 30 feet long. It was
It's a
huge.
boat. That's a
Beautiful
boat,
car.
not a
It was
car.
beautiful. You could fit so many people in there.
They're handy to have.
And there was a cul-de-sac back in the.
Oh, really?
It was kind of like built back in this farmer's field. It was kind of strange, anyway.
Yeah.
And we used to just sit back there, and you could see where
sit
it was. You could see a landing pattern for O'Hare Airport back there. It was kind of neat to watch the planes come in. You could see them stacking up off of Lake Michigan coming into O'Hare Airport. So it was,
Very cool.
you could tell the difference between, big planes and little planes. And after a while, you could tell which ones were going O'Hare and which ones were going to fly over. And it was really nice, calm night. And I saw this one that looked a little separated, and I didn't say nothing, and I could tell. And Denise saw it, and then Well, tell them what you said, Denise.
I said, we were just standing there, and it just like you said, it was like a cul-de-sac. They were just building it, and you come up, and then there's a pile of dirt there. We were parked there, drinking a couple beers. All was just, just chit chatting. And all of a sudden, I like your typical flying saucer. It was just, and the pile of dirt was like really high too. It was like.
It was a big dirt, like a construction site.
Well, yeah, like 20 feet high or something,
Wow,
right?
it's a huge
So all
yeah.
of a sudden I see this like light. At first I think it's like, the lights, how the lights just turn on in neighborhoods, at a certain time, like,
Yeah.
9 o'clock, the lights all turn on. So I thought that, and then I looked back over and it was like hovering higher. And it was probably when I saw it, it didn't look like big, like like it didn't look real big. It was like maybe 4 feet wide, but it was just like you see, and you see, and you think, oh my God, I'm not really seeing this. Like what the hell is that? And that's what I said. What is that?
What was it?
Yeah, I just flipped out because I knew what it was. I knew it was a flying saucer.
Did it look like that typical? Did it look?
I'm like, Schmitty, get in the car. Get in the car. Everybody else started freaking out. I run to the car. Schmitty's out there. I want to see it. I want to see it. I'm like, get in the car.
Everybody was screaming.
We were screaming, because it was a flying saucer. It was a flying saucer.
And it looked just like the traditional flying saucer you see on the science fiction movies with the hump on the top.
It didn't have, how they have lights on the outside, like 5 or 6 lights.
Yeah.
Some of them, they have like a dome, and then they have the thing that goes around, and then on the round thing, there's lights. It was just round, and it was spinning.
Wow,
that's amazing. Now, how big was it? How big did it seem to be?
A little bit before everybody else, I think, because I saw it when it looked like a regular plane with navigation lights, and it went behind the dirt mound like a road away, and then it looked like somebody running across the field with a lamp or something in their hand. It was wobbling all over the place. And I think that's maybe when Denise noticed it, because it had a really erratic pattern to it, and then all of a sudden it was just right there, right next to the car, like a car length away, and it was probably the size of a car. When it got as close as it got, you could see it. I mean, it was right there. There was no mistaken. There's no way it was a drone, a weather balloon.
My hand's shaking right now. My hand's shaking a little bit. So yeah, it was real. My hand is shaking right now.
How big did it seem? How big did it seem to be?
Real. It was real. We saw it.
How big was it?
Schmitty stayed out there. He was crazy. He stayed out there.
Well, and then I finally jumped in the car, and they said it was shining a light on me, and I thought it was the whole car.
It was. I'm like, go! I was like, go! He was driving 90 miles an hour. And the thing, yeah. Go ahead, Schmitty.
Okay, I'm going to ask a couple of questions.
I'll say what I saw.
I'm going to ask a couple of questions now.
Well, I got in the car and we started going down. It would instead of turning like a plane or whatever, like tilt, it would just roll over trees and go right back down where it was.
It was bizarre, yeah.
It turned into
a ball.
It looked like flying saucer anymore. Yeah, it looked more like a ball.
Really?
It would just roll over, but it was a ball that you could see. I don't know. It's really hard to describe what it turned into. And this was pretty early. It was like 10:30 or something. And I don't even remember what we did with everybody else. I don't remember if I dropped. I just don't remember all of it. But all of a sudden, it went from 10:30 to 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, and it's like, what? Wow, what happened? Because it followed us clear into town. Clear into Grayslake, and I think I took the girls all home, and I took Eddie home. And
Terry, how big?
We went to see Charlie. Remember going over to see Charlie?
Yeah.
We went over to the fire marshal in Grayslake, and he says, "You guys been drinking beer?" You know what I mean? Like he thought we were crazy, and we're like, we had like 1 or 2, right? I mean, we didn't even after that,
started.
Exactly. We had like maybe 1 beer, so it's not like we were drunk or anything like that. But then this is what I saw. So he's driving, right? And the thing is following on the right-hand side of us, right? And it turns from that flying saucer thing, and we're driving like 90 miles an hour because this thing is following us. It turns into like, Doug, it was just like a round ball. And it turned in from the saucer into a white ball, and it was like hopping like dot, 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 dot. It was chasing us.
Wow.
On the side of us, in front of us, on the side of us, and then we come to where it's like you could either go left or right, and then forward, they're doing the construction. There's still a bunch of trees there, right? So then this dot, it turns white, 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 white. It's on the side of us. It's chasing us, and that it goes in the front of us, and it turns. It's red. It turns into a red ball, and it goes dot, dot, and then turned green, 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 and went away.
Oh, wow.
It went away from there. Yes, it went away for a second. And I was just flipped. I mean, I'm shaking now and I'm getting goosebumps right now. So, yeah.
I haven't seen Denise in like 40 years, and I was talking to her about it just a couple of weeks ago, and she told me, man, this is creeping me out just to think about it again. I was like, I have not. There's not a day go by that I don't think about this every day, and it's like she agrees that she does too. So it was an experience.
Yeah. I definitely saw something. We definitely saw something, and it was something, unidentified flying object. We couldn't figure out what it was. We couldn't pinpoint it. It could not have been like somebody doing a movie projector, how they caught people doing that. It could not have been that at all. It was an extraterrestrial being in a little spaceship. It was crazy. It was fun though. It was exhilarating.
That's awesome. Hey, how big was it? Could you tell what size the thing was when it was its saucer shape, and then again when it was its sphere shape? Could you tell?
I got out of the car when it came up next to the car. I was like, "What?" And I had to get a better look at it. And then, like she said, everybody was screaming, "Get back in the car!" And I got up and I looked out. It was probably about the length of a '69 Cadillac Fleetwood. It was about that size. But then when it started following us around, it probably got the size of, like, if you remove the hood and the trunk off, it was like the size of the passenger compartment. It actually changed shape, like turned into liquid almost, is what it looked like.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was real small. It went from and when I saw it, when it just started spinning coming over the hill, like I said, it looked like a street light. When the lights turn on, right? Yeah. And I looked over and I looked back. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking it's that. Then all of a sudden the thing comes flying up over the thing. I'm like, why is that? I started flipping out because I knew what it was. I'm like, whoa, what is that? My sister started screaming. I started screaming. I mean, we're youngsters at the time. I think I was like 17 years old or something like that. My sisters were like 15, 14. Eddie was maybe, how old were you, Smitty?
I thought it was somewhere between 17 and 19.
Yep, exactly. And then Eddie, God rest his soul, he's the same age. He would be the same age as you now, right?
Yeah, I'm 63 now.
And I'll be 62 in November. So this happened, yeah. Now I was like 17. I'm almost positive I was 17 because I moved to Florida when I was 18. West Palm Beach.
Wow, that's crazy. How close? How close did it get to you guys?
Other stuff I haven't. He did, but I actually met my guardian angel. But that could be for another night.
We'll get to that, Denise. We'll get to the guardian angel.
Like, I think they're following Schmitty. I think he's a conduit for.
Yeah. Apparently.
I do. Like, certain people do that. Like my boyfriend, he can drive a car underneath a light. He turns off all the lights. All the lights will go off down the road. And he's done it many times. And he's not doing it consciously. It's just he's got so much kinetic energy or whatever you call it that he just turns off lights as you go down the road. You know what I mean? So, wow. I mean, there's weirder things, Bermuda Triangle, the shit that nobody can explain. I think Schmitty's a conduit for this stuff. Yeah. I've seen lots of ghosts, too.
I don't know. Terry needs a better camera. Terry needs a better camera.
You believe it, you'll receive it. Like Santa Claus. You believe it, you'll receive.
How close was the saucer to you guys? How close was the saucer when you guys saw it to the car? Guessing.
When we first saw it, it was probably a good half a mile away.
You
And
think
then-
so, Smitty?
Yeah, no, when I first saw it, it was clear. It was clear over like by Allegheny Road is what the name of the road is.
Yeah, I remember Allegheny.
But then by the time it got up to us, it was a car length away from the car.
Yeah, it was really close to me.
A
I was
car
really
length?
close to
It
the
was like
pile of
right
dirt.
there.
It was right behind the pile of dirt. It was right behind it.
I'd have ran
It
away
just
too.
went,
Did it shine
Yeah,
any
so-
light on you guys? Did it shine a light directly on you?
It was right me.
yeah, they did it on Schmitty. That's why I said he's a conduit for that stuff.
Yeah.
They want to take him up and they want to, make more Schmitties.
It could
They
be.
can drive the spaceship. He passed that night. They want him to drive now. Right, Schmitty?
I guess it seems weird that I've seen these things all over the place. When I lived in Arkansas, I saw several also.
So
Yeah, Yeah.
how fast did it, I mean, did it eventually just fly off? Obviously, at some point it flew off. Did it leave in a great deal of speed, or did you just
Oh, yeah.
vape?
Oh, yeah.
It went like pretty much at a 45-degree angle up. It looked like she said, like kind of like a street light, and then it
Right.
looked like it kind of disappeared, like like when you like a spark off a grinding wheel. I guess would be the best way to put it.
Wow.
How it
Wow.
gets really dim like that,
Mhm.
kind of goes away. Yep.
Yeah, when I'm going do, that's how many times that, bounced up, bounced down, bounced up, bounced down, following the car, we're going fast, we're going 90 miles an hour, it's following us, I'm saying, go faster, Smitty. He's like, I'm going 90 miles an hour, I can't go any faster. You know what I mean? It was following us, and it could, transform, it could jump, it jumped, next to the car, too, it jumped. And then when it came in front of the car, like I said, the front of us was all trees, and you could only go to the left and to the right. I mean, and it was construction out there, There was no planes out there, landing or anything like that, because it was a part of the airport that they were building onto. And then it was like a dot, and it went dot, 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 and it was white. And then in front of the car, we were stopped for a minute because we just couldn't believe what we were seeing. And then it was like dot, dot. It was a red dot. Then green, green, green. It went really fast, like kazoo, and then disappeared.
Wow.
I was like, let's get out of here right now. Then it starts following us out. I was just enthralled by the whole night.
Wow. Now there was an instance of missing time during that evening where you guys,
Yep.
how did that work? I mean, what was the deal with that?
Well, this started it was summertime, so it had to be somewhere between. It didn't get dark till 9:30, and this was fairly early, like 10:30. And like I said, we didn't have any those stopovers. We weren't out messing around after that happened, and then all of a sudden it's like 1:30, 2:30 in the morning. I don't remember exactly what time it was, but all of a sudden the night was gone.
Exactly. Yeah, and I remember even being there as early as like 9:15.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all just, that's what we used to do when we were 17, just hang out, go hang out, where there's no cops, and drink beer at 16, 17 years old.
Go
You
down
know?
either down by the lake or out there.
Yeah. And I'd never been there before, so this was something completely new. I'd never been to that part of the airport or anything like that. And Schmitty took us there. He's just like, let's go down here. But you lived right there in town. Your mom had that
Yeah.
big house right there in town.
Well, my folks owned a small plane too, so I knew that's the
Oh, I
only
didn't know
where
that.
place was. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, your mom was a sweetie. And that house was nice.
Well, back with the
Well,
missing,
my
let's,
folks got a pilot's license, and that's.
I didn't know that, Schmitty.
Yeah. That's
That's
the only reason I knew
probably
that.
why. That's probably why.
back to the missing time. And did you just were having fun, you forgot, or did you actually have a block of time that's actually missing?
It's just gone. It's like seriously, like 3 hours, 3.5 hours are just gone.
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah.
I couldn't even explain.
No, because I was thinking it was more like 9:15, 9:30. Schmidt thought it was 10:30. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been some years, but like you said, and then we didn't even go to Charlie's house. It was way after midnight, so there was a whole block of time that we don't remember what happened to it. It was just gone.
Do you have any dreams, or did you have any memories that pop up as to what might have happened during that missing 3 hours or so? Anything at
You,
all?
Schmitty?
I've had, I don't know if you want to call them nightmares or not. And my fiance says I've actually woke up in the middle of the night, like trying to run in my sleep, but I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah,
Oh no!
running away from the
Yeah,
saucer.
I think they're after him, Doug. I really do.
Yeah, he needs a better camera though. He keeps sending me pictures of just they turn out to be dots. I'm gonna send you a better camera there, Terry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we would have taken a picture of this too, but this was way before cell phones. We didn't have nothing like that.
Do you?
We had beer and cigarettes and a car and gas and
That's
but
all
that
you
was
need.
it. We didn't have a
And
camera or
booze.
nothing.
So, you
I
don't
think a lot of
you don't have any
Go ahead.
memories or anything weird that I mean, the reason I ask it feels like I mean, people that get abducted. This is what. Now the other people in the car, do they want to? Did they? One guy's dead, right? So
Yeah.
he's passed away. But the other person, you still keep in contact with them?
I talk with them. I talk with them occasionally. Yeah.
Do they want to?
Yeah,
Do they ever talk?
we're not as close as we used to be.
Do they
Just
ever
once
talk?
our dad died. Yeah, I'm not as close with them.
Denise's sisters, I tried contacting them. I said, hey, at least talk with me about that UFO we saw. They don't want to have nothing to do with it.
Oh, so they don't want to talk about it?
No.
So you did try to contact them, Schmitty?
Well, just Susie.
Oh, Susie wasn't there though. Was she?
Susie was there, yeah.
Oh, and she said I want nothing to do with that.
She just won't get back with me on it.
She ghosted.
Oh yeah, she doesn't talk. She doesn't talk online at all. She's never on Facebook or nothing like that.
She ghosted you.
Well, she just lives her life off. You know what I mean? Her the same way. They didn't grow up. They have Facebook, but maybe they'll post something once a year or something like that. You know what I mean? No, but I don't know. Like I said, I met my guardian angel. Everybody has a guardian angel around them all the time, and I met her when I was 12, and she was the same height as me, same hair. Her name was Denise. We were in 6th grade. Everything was just wild. And after that, I asked the guy there. I was at my dad's archery club in Waukegan, Illinois, which is right by, the Great Lakes, right down by Lake Michigan. And I asked him as we were coming out, because I met her going in. I waited because she all of a sudden appeared out of this little house that was there. And, so I went in there, and Dad was practicing his, archery, and the whole gang was there doing that. And on the way out, I said to the leader of the archery group, I said, oh, I was hoping to see that young girl, there, the young girl that lives there, the family that lives there. And he's like, Denise, nobody's lived there for over 20 years. I was like, whoa, you know what I mean?
No,
I
that's
did
weird.
say though, I did meet a girl here tonight. And he's like, well, maybe she just walked away or something, But ever since that, it brought out like a whole spirituality of me, in me,
What's the
like,
What's
I've seen ghosts. Now I've seen UFOs. I met my guardian angel girl. I just have a higher power with me. Do you feel that way too, Schmitty?
No,
Oh, I do.
I just feel like it seems like I can tell when to look up in the sky, though. It's all like I almost know which way to look. I can say that for real, though.
Yeah, they're watching you. They put a chip in you that night. That's why you don't remember anything.
It's gone. It's lost. I don't remember driving you girls home. I don't remember
Yeah, I don't remember driving the girls home either, because we all went to Charlie's house, or did we drop them off? I don't remember that. But my sisters were probably wimps, so they probably said, "Take us home."
Well, I don't. Yeah, that's like the whole rest of the night's gone.
Completely. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Denise, with
Exactly.
your guardian angel, could it have been a ghost, maybe, or parent, an apparition? How do you know it was a
No,
guardian
definitely
angel
no.
rather?
She was there. I could touch her if I wanted to. If she was there.
Yeah, she was. Your hand wouldn't go through her, or it
Nope.
was like a
Nope.
real.
She was a real live person. Because we all have guardian angels that walk around us. They say that they're only 3 feet tall. We all have guardian angels around us.
How come they're so short?
And
Why would they be
I
so
met
short?
mine. I met mine. She was my twin, my identical twin
Wow.
at 12 years old. I met her.
But I've retired a dozen of them. No, not him.
But I've never been the same after that. I'm way more like my dad died. He appeared to me like umpteen times after he died. He brought in a pile of snow and an evergreen, and he lived on like 500 acres up north, and we hadn't opened our door, since like 2 in the afternoon or whatever. And this was a pile. I got up to go to the bathroom. There's a pile of wet snow, actual snow,
Wow.
and an evergreen. I'm like, that's my dad. He had just passed away like 2 days earlier. Then he used to show up all the time at my house. My dog would bark at him and stuff.
Wow, that's
I'll tell you
amazing.
what. If, before that night that Denise and all of us were out there, if somebody told me they saw a UFO, I would have told them they better quit smoking that shit because
Yeah.
There's no way I would have believed them. There's no way. I would have said you're out of your mind. But that I know what I saw, and it was definitely not swamp gas getting reflected off of Venus.
No, it wasn't that at all. No way. And it was nobody with like a projector. No way. There was no way.
It wasn't a Russian submarine. It was right there.
Do you?
Yeah, it was pretty neat, Doug. It was pretty neat, and I know a lot of people that have seen stuff. I have a lot of friends that live in Chicago actually, and they have seen stuff on Lake Michigan. They live there in the they got some really nice pads there, and they're right overlooking Lake Michigan, and they have seen all kinds of stuff. Remember that night, like I think it was like in the 80s or the 90s when like the phones blew up, Doug, and like 200 people called in about a UFO they had saw over Lake Michigan in Chicago. Do you remember that?
Well, there's so many instances over Lake Michigan. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Lights go out.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
this was one where the cop shop was. I don't know who you call the cops. Who do you call for a Martian or whatever?
That's what they.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
They used to call the police, back in the day.
At the cop shop were lighting up, or
they couldn't get any calls because of it. I remember that.
I remember that totally. I've actually seen pictures from my friends that they took pictures of it. So yeah, there's definitely stuff out there. Am I afraid of it? No. I'm not afraid of it. Ghosts and stuff. I'm not afraid of it. I didn't think it was there to like harm us. It was more like it was taunting us.
Yeah.
Because we were scared.
I felt like a bug under a microscope that already been caught.
Yeah. I rolled up the windows. I locked the doors. I was even thinking about getting under the seat. I was scared to death.
It's probably a good thing girls started hollering at me because I would have stood out there and looked at it till it dried me or whatever.
Yeah, because we were driving like bats out of hell in his Cadillac.
So
and that thing could go fast too. He's like, I'm going as fast as I can because I said go faster. I mean, I was scared to death.
It was on the little narrow country patched up road, so.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. What do you think, Doug?
Do you have any metal in your body? Terry does, doesn't he? Don't you, Terry?
Yeah.
And you have an X-ray. You're supposed to.
Picture that X-ray. It's got like a little.
Yeah, you did. I don't think you ever got me. I don't think you ever sent me the picture. I need a picture of the. I don't need it, but I could like to see it. You
I
know,
thought I sent you a picture of that. I'm trying to find the
you were having
actual
trouble
X-ray.
finding
Maybe
it.
I didn't send you a picture of that, but
You had a picture of the
uh,
X-ray
the
where you had
actual
metal in you.
X-rays you can see it really well, but I can't find it. But I do have a picture of the. I was getting X-rays because I hurt my neck when I. Okay, I fell out of a truck one time and I wasn't drunk. I was going to help a guy
Yeah, I've
get
heard
out
that
of the
before.
in an ice storm. Yeah, and they were taking X-rays of my neck, and they're like, "What have you had surgery before? What's this thing in your neck?" And I'm like, "I have no idea. I've never had surgery." And they were all looking at it and stuff. It just looks like a little, like a pencil lead or something in my neck.
Yeah, it's just small. Actually, it looks like one of those, replacements you put in your car. You know, when in the old cars, the little things that you had to, if a light would go out, you'd put in a little. What are they
The
called?
fuse?
That's what it looks like, huh?
Fuse. A
Fuse.
fuse.
Yeah, a fuse. Yeah, that's what it looks like on his neck. It looks like a fuse.
But it's a fraction of that size. It's tiny, tiny.
Yeah, it's small.
They don't
I'm
need.
sorry, Doug. I better get you a picture of that.
They don't
You
need.
sent me one. I could send it back to you.
No, I've got a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
Denise, do
But
you
I
have
got
any?
It's blown up or whatever.
You
Yeah,
haven't.
I've got the actual X-rays around here somewhere. I can't find them.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Denise, do
Yeah,
you have
just
any metal in you?
huh?
Do you have any metal in you, or any anomalous items that have turned up under X-ray? You feel
No, nothing
anything
like
really
that.
weird
No, I just
metallic?
I'm the bionic woman now. I just had two knee replacements 2
Oh
years ago.
wow, you'd be running around the
Yeah, so I'm a
block.
bionic woman now. But
That's
no, I
amazing.
never. The only thing I had like was fillings in my mouth that like they say, oh, you can get radio waves through if you have fillings in your teeth. They used to say all kinds of stuff when we were little.
Yeah, I remember
You
that.
know what I mean? Do you remember that?
I remember that. Yeah,
Yeah, you could
I'm
be in
old
the
like you.
channel with
Hey,
your
I'm old
teeth
like
if
you
you have
guys.
fillings
So,
in your teeth.
uh, so
Oh, they were.
do you
Yeah,
guys have kids, Terry and Denise? Do you guys have kids?
yeah, I have two daughters.
Did you
I've
tell them
got one
about
daughter.
this? Have you told them about this story?
Yeah,
What do your kids say about it?
we asked where they could get some of that.
Yeah,
And I don't think my kids just they don't believe it. You know what I mean? They're non-believers.
they don't believe your story though. I mean, you have a
Not
UFO story.
well. I don't know. They're cynical for
Yeah,
kids. Oh,
Yeah.
mom, quit telling stories. You know what I mean?
That's how my daughter took it. It's like,
Yeah.
can you get me some of that stuff? Like, well,
yeah, the
okay.
wacky tobacco. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would think more than wacky tobacco. You can see that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That was wild. That was wild.
Wow. So Denise, I know Terry, you've had a lot of sightings, but Denise, have you seen since then? Have you seen anything else in the sky that might have resembled that, or was anything unusual?
Me or you talking
Yeah,
to?
yeah. I know Terry's
Yeah.
got tons of stuff. He sends me stuff all the time.
Okay.
But
Yeah. No, I just Trump flew over my house about 4 years ago.
a truck did.
That was really cool in a helicopter. I'm in a flight pattern here.
A truck
Yeah,
flew
there's
over
an
your house.
airport and Mayport air. The naval base is right by here, and
Right.
then another there's all the time airplanes just fly over, and that there's another airport just right over here. These are the rich people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The single engine Cessnas and stuff like that. They go over and they tip their wing to say hi to me when I'm in the pool, but I always wave to them and stuff too. I'm crazy
Yeah.
like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, they tip their one wing and say hi to me when I'm in the pool. Cause I
Yeah.
wave like crazy. I wave, yeah.
You have to start
Everybody
putting
deserves
a
a
towel
wave.
on. Denise, you're gonna have to start putting a towel on when you're in the pool.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna have a alien come over, but no, I haven't really seen anything to be truthful with you.
Did you say you saw a
Um,
truck fly over? A truck fly over your house? You said you saw a truck fly over?
Donald Trump flew over, and it said Trump. It
Oh,
was really
Trump.
cool. It was a helicopter.
Oh,
And we
Trump
always
flew
have
over.
med helicopters go by. Med vac helicopters and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm a total flight pattern for the birds too, which I think is pretty cool. Like all the birds that are migrating down south or up north, they all go over my house. I find that kind of fascinating, actually. I say, hi, babies.
That's amazing.
They're like, this lady is crazy out here, but I love animals, so I
All right,
gotta say hi to them. I can't ignore them.
all right, Denise, I assume you're
So,
retired. Are you retired?
yes,
What
yes,
did
I'm
you do
medically
when?
retired.
What was your career when you were working?
I actually I was in the hospitality business for like 30 years.
Oh, in the Florida.
Bar manager, restaurant manager. I was a Playboy bunny at Lake Geneva Playboy
No
Club when I
way.
was
You were a Playboy
18 there in
bunny?
Wisconsin.
We got an
Yep, I
actual
was a
Playboy
Playboy
bunny on
bunny.
the show? That's
Hmm?
awesome. That's awesome. We got a Playboy bunny on the show.
Yep,
Yeah,
a Playboy bunny on the show. Yep, and I have
she
a lot of
dumped me to
Playboy
go
bunny
be a
friends
Playboy
too.
bunny.
Huh?
She dumped me to go be a Playboy bunny, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I was a hottie with a body though, huh?
You
Holy cow, I was smoking.
shameless.
I was a shameless. I was 6 foot tall, 125 pounds. What a body! I got it all.
Yeah, I miss
No
those.
lie, no lie. But
I
yeah, I did the hospitality business after being a Playboy bunny. So like I started out as like a hostess, and then I went to hat check girl, and then waitress, then bartender, and cocktail waitress, bar manager, restaurant manager, and yeah, I did that for 30 years.
Shameless hussy.
Yeah, I would wear like short, high heels. I'm already 6 foot, so I wear high heels,
damn, that's tall.
shorts, shorts like the kind of the distressed ones like they have now,
Yeah,
tank top. But I was a shameless hussy, right?
yeah.
I wasn't a hussy, but I had it going on.
Yeah, I followed you around pretty close for a couple years.
Yeah, we were really good friends, Doug.
Yeah.
We were best friends.
Yeah, we were best friends. I could say that honestly. We were best friends. He always made me laugh.
That
He's
is
very,
awesome.
very funny.
He
Schmitty
still
is funnier than heck.
he still is.
He always had me laughing. There's nothing wrong with a friend that can make you laugh
Yep.
all the time.
So when you were a cocktail waitress, did you ever run across any organized crime people down it was down there in Florida, or was that somewhere else?
Um,
Any
yeah,
mobsters?
cocktail waitress. I did that a few places, but no, I didn't meet any mobsters or anything like that. But I met Mary Lou Henner.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, Deborah Raffin, who's a model and an actress. Those two little real estate guys, they're little people. You know what I mean? Like maybe 2 feet tall.
oh wow.
That big, yeah, Big Daddy. Yeah, they were really really rich. They owned a lot of well, I think they're deceased now, but they owned a lot of real estate back in the days, back in the '80s. And one jumped on the bar stool and said, "Hey, young lady, can I buy you a beer?" I said, "Sure." He was really cute. He was really sweet.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, no mobsters or whatever. I worked at a restaurant that was called the Speakeasy in Waukegan, Illinois,
Yeah.
and it wasn't really mobsters, but it was like all the judges and police officers and everybody in that area.
Yeah.
So that was the closest thing to getting in with that society. I would say that was pretty cool, actually. Yeah,
You
it was
managed
really
to
cool.
stay out of trouble though, as much as you could, though, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I stayed out of trouble. Yeah. Yep, I stayed out of trouble. Got
Cool.
married, had a couple kids, and yeah, now I live in northern Florida. I have going to have 8 grandchildren come the 13th of this month,
Wow.
and yep. I still, I got some health issues, but I'm dealing with them the best that I can, and yeah, lived up north for a little while, and I love Florida, so I've been here on and off for like 22 years now. I love it here.
That's
Your wife
great.
would love it here too. She would get used to
Yeah,
it in a
she's not going to
heartbeat.
give it a chance. She's pretty set in her ways.
Where do you live now?
We're in California. We're in Sacramento
Oh,
area in
well,
California.
sunny there, right?
Yeah, but I like it better. There's something about Florida. I really like it, and I like my sister. You can see the from where she lives. You can actually see when they launch from the Kennedy Space Center.
Yep,
Yeah, and we
yep.
could
I've
sit in
lived,
her front.
yep,
You
yep. I've
sit
lived
in her
right on the
front
ocean
yard and
before.
watch the
Yep,
rockets go up. I mean, they're
yep,
tiny, but you can. I mean, clearly see them flying up in the air. I mean, that's something. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
oh, yeah. I watched them from the balcony.
from here too, but this just looks like a flare kind of at night.
Yeah, my next.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
You
next
can
trip
tell
to
it's something moving.
Titusville, Terry. I think I'll see if I can swing by because I don't think you're too
Yeah.
far. I don't think you're too far from there. We can.
Please do. I think we're 2 hours from Titusville.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that is
did gain.
Gainesville. It's beautiful out there. I went
Yeah,
camping out there once.
yeah, I went to. I was at Gainesville last time. We drove down, and then we went over to
Yeah. St.
a couple
Augustine.
places. Yeah, we went to the coast, and my sister's an artist. She's does
Oh.
painting, and so she's in a little. She's in a gallery co-op down at Cocoa Beach, and then at St. Augustine also. She does really good work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
whimsical.
I lived in St. Augustine. That's one place you ought to check out. Oh, and I didn't tell you this either because we went on a bunch of ghost tours and stuff like that. It's really, really the haunted area. St. Augustine is.
Yeah,
And one night after we had been on a tour bus, like it's a tour. Like you go on a haunted tour and you
yeah,
see you take pictures and you see the globes and stuff there, right?
yeah,
So yeah, took tons of pictures, saw a lot of them and stuff like that. But what I wanted to say is we lived right in St. Augustine Beach, right on the beach. You know what I mean? Right there, elite area. You know what I mean? Right on the beach. And I brought in a spirit, a ghost to the house.
well,
And my
that
dogs just started going nuts, like barking. Tito Bandito was his name. And he's also the one that barked at my dad after my dad passed away when I saw him way up north in Wisconsin. Tito barked at Grandpa, barked at Grandpa, barked at Grandpa. But yeah, followed us in the house. And this is the same dog. I had him for 16 years. And he, animals can feel when there's presence in the house. You know what I mean? And so Tito was like a conduit, for that. And yeah, I think it either followed me in or it came under the threshold and came into the house. And Tito just barked in the corner. Tito wouldn't let him go past the door. So that's another freaky thing that I went through. That was really freaky. And you can kind of, it's kind of, I hate to say it about St. Augustine, but living there like 6-7 years, it's really like the ghosts make it like a really negative area to live in. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. We went to that fort.
Yeah, there's not a lot of jobs. There's a lot of degradation. People think, "Oh my God, it's so cool." It is. When you go to St. George Street and you're walking down, it's brick roads everywhere. And you see the old schoolhouse, the old pharmacy, stuff like that. That's where you really should go, Doug. But there's a lot of really, and then the fort there where the Mexicans got massacred. I mean, there's so many spirits and ghosts there
Yeah, we went.
that would be something for your radio thing. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, we went to the fort. It was a nice.
Yep,
It was
yep,
crazy.
yep. And then yeah, all the it looks kind of like a spider web, but it's the tears of all the women that cried when their husband didn't come home from the war. Their what's that called, Schmitty? That stuff that hangs in the trees.
Oh, the moss,
Oh,
Spanish moss.
Yeah, Spanish moss. They say it's the Spanish moss is from the women. They cried so hard when their men didn't come home from the war, at the fort. That yeah, the tears turned into Spanish moss, and that's why there's so much of it in St. Augustine. There's all kinds of folklores in that. Did you go on the tour there? It's really cool.
We did do on the tour. We
Holly
visited.
Dolly?
We visited the fort, and then we went to the old town. All the tourist crap. Went inside there.
Yep.
And went all through all those. The old village there, and went to the couple of the tourist traps in there, and left our money, which we did our due diligence.
Yeah. We're gonna go there with another couple soon, but I haven't been back in a long time.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Because we also lived in Crescent Beach, and we lived in Palm Coast, we lived in McClenny, and now we're in northern Florida. And Ricky bought a house like 4 years ago, so I stayed here a while.
That's awesome. All right, you guys got anything else to add to your story here before we wrap it up?
No, just like you mentioned, asking about things like I just seem to, I really do seem like to know when to go outside and look up in the sky. That's for sure, and I don't know where that comes from.
If you check out our we're on Facebook, Alien Probe Podcast on Facebook, and I do a
What is
lot
it
of
called again?
Alien Probe Podcast.
Alien Folk
Probe, like you
Podcast?
getting probed. Alien Probe
Okay.
Podcast.
Alien probe.
I heard it now. I'm writing it down.
I'll look for you too, and I just look for Doug Anthony. It's Doug Anthony and the Alien Probe Podcast. They're attached together on my Facebook, and there's some. I'm on Twitter too, but I get a lot of good we have lately. We have a lot of good pictures that people, not real. Some of them may say are real. We don't know, but there's a lot of good art. It's really cool. And it's the
Like
story,
artwork.
and we do tell a lot of the story about what's going on right now. I don't know if you've heard that. There was a hearing lately in Washington about disclosing the where the flying saucers and craft are, and the extraterrestrial bodies that we have. And we had a couple of representatives, House representatives. Te- there's a guy named David Grush who came out. He was with the UAP task force, one of those UAP task forces, and people disclosed to him about where these places are and what these things are and
Wow.
who these people are. So it's gonna come. I have never seen anything. So I'm a member of
You
Move.
never have?
What's that?
You weren't allowed to see anything? Is that what
No, they won't. David Grush. They told him everything. He has the names. He has the locations. He has
Okay.
what they are, and they haven't came out yet. We're probably never really gonna know because this stuff they're reverse engineering this stuff allegedly, and trying to make anti-gravity.
said? Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So because I don't know for sure. And
Well, yeah.
but I put a lot of things on my on well, we have the YouTube, which has the show. You should check out the show too, by the way. Alien Pro Podcast. We're on YouTube, and you can see my smiling face. You guys, this is recorded. It'll have my face, and then, of course, your voices as we're talking.
Will you crop out some of the stuff that we're talking about right now?
No, I'm keeping everything.
Okay.
There's nothing really to cry. There's nothing there you guys disclose that is weird or anything. This is really typical stuff.
Say who I was on Facebook, but
no, don't do that. I'll
no.
when we are you under your name that we know? Is it under that name?
No.
No.
Add Bunny in front. Bunny,
Okay, in front of that name. Okay.
Yep.
I'll try to dig you up, and if you see the podcast or myself, just
yeah, I'll send you a message.
But let's go ahead and wrap it up. We're running on. You guys made it. You guys made it 47 minutes. Not bad.
Wow.
Not bad. We usually do an hour, so it's pretty good. Unless you want to sing and dance or anything. Terry, what do you got? You got any singing or?
Watch TV.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take.
Those pictures I sent you said somebody said it was dust.
Oh, I don't remember. Yeah, there was some good comments on the glowing. Yeah, the glowing blue one. Yeah, it's it's a chemical that they aren't denying that it's something, but they said it's a. I forget what they called the chemical. It wasn't cobalt. It was something else. But we'll.
Oh, that flies around the sky over here, huh?
Yeah, it's just what they said with the typical chemical what makes blue. So, all right, we're gonna.
Yeah, people could say a lot of stuff. They do. You know what I mean? People say a lot of stuff. You just gotta take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? I was on this monarch because I'm growing monarchs now, all the way through. Start off at a little baby and then caterpillar, and then they go into the J hook, which they actually hang into a J, and then they go into a chrysalis, and that's what mine did right now. So it's hanging in there. In like 2 weeks, I'll wake up, or I'll watch, or I'll videotape it, and she will come out of her cocoon, and then once her wings are dried off, I can name her. And bless her, and she will stay out in the yard, for a little while, and then she'll come back. She'll migrate. It's too late for them to migrate, anywhere up here. So they'll go down to Mexico where it's nice and hot. So if anyone,
remember that blue thing I sent you, Denise? That blue thing? That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, I put it online. I put it on my.
I know. What I was going to make a point. This one lady got on there and she's like, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Oh my God! All the Florida caterpillars, they all died. They all got a disease. You know what I mean? People are just out of their asses nowadays.
Yeah. Well, there's too much.
I just deleted and blocked the bitch. That's what I told my friend Cheryl. I said I deleted and blocked that jealous bitch. Bye. You and your frizzy, ugly hair. Bye. Well, you know what I mean? You could tell it was jealousy because I saw them both.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't look bad at all.
No, you don't.
Yeah, no, I don't.
When
I look better than most 62-year-olds, I'll tell you what. Anyway.
I'll send you guys.
That's what I'm saying about people say things about everything. You know what I mean? They have opinion about everything. It's
Yeah.
Like, shut your pie hole. You know what I mean?
I don't talk too much.
Something in a group, Why you got to be a bit? You know what I'm saying? So they're telling Schmitty, oh, that's just a blue chemical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They got to dismiss his story. Just because.
Well, they were saying it. They weren't denying that it wasn't something. They were just saying what the chemical was that does that.
Oh, I thought they were saying.
No, they weren't debunking it. They just said, "Oh yeah, that's whatever." Cool. Are you guys ready to wrap it up now?
Saying it wasn't real or something.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna wrap it.
Everything Schmitty says.
Yeah, I'm not a good BSer, am I, Denise?
No. Well, I've seen what I saw with you. So you said you saw something, or there's something in your yard. When I come and visit you next March, we're gonna go out and look at it. And now we have cameras, and we'll take some videotape and we'll send it to Doug.
Yeah. Bring a good camera, Denise.
Huh?
Bring a good camera. Don't use your cell phone. Need a good camera.
Yeah.
No doubt.
No doubt. Yeah. So that's what we'll do. That's going to happen because we're going to the races. Ricky's going to the races, and we're gonna go visit my old time friend and his girlfriend, Dory.
All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Thanks for listening to the latest episode of the Alien Probe Podcast. We welcome comments, questions, or requests to alienprobepodcast@gmail.com. Visit us on Facebook. Check out our website, alienprobe.net. Twitter and Instagram at alienprobepod. Check us out, like and subscribe on YouTube at Alien Probe Podcast. Thanks, Terry and Denise, for telling your story. Look forward to hearing you again soon. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.